Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Wednesday, 9:11 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. Raining all day, I might add you, and I believe Justin just mentioned it's 74 degrees or 75 degrees?
72.
72, there you go. Just went down. So it's been raining all day. It's going to rain all day tomorrow. So we need that here in San Antonio because it's fucking hot otherwise. But welcome back to the show this week. You know me, I'm Drew. And with me, as always,
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com.
Yes, sir. And again, another week. Sorry about the cough, people. Again, another week where not much going on in the wrestling business. Really not much going on in the wrestling business. Been a very slow news week. Not too much happening, as I just mentioned. So it's mainly just a show-heavy week. You had Clash of the Castle, which was Saturday. And then you had Raw, of course, on Mondays, as they always are, NXT. And just not too long ago, you had AEW Dynamite. And, yeah, I guess we'll start with Clash of the Castle, which happened on Saturday. It was in Scotland. It was in the OVO Hydro Arena, or Stadium, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a stadium. In Glasgow, Scotland. June the 15th, and according to Triple H, it broke another record, whatever that may be. There were 5 matches, which, again, that's all you need. That's really all you need, 5 to 6 matches. The first match of the night, or day, since it's America when we get it, so night in Scotland, I guess. You had Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles in an I Quit match for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody got blood in this match, which, was surprising. I say surprising because, we haven't had that in a while. We've had that very sparingly. And
I mean, was it really blood, though? Like, it was like a paper cut, and he was like, it wasn't like he was busted open, like, anything like that. But, yeah, there was blood, yes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like blood with, the segment with The Rock, but it was blood. It was blood until it wasn't. I'll say that, because there was a spot where, like, I guess Cody cleaned himself up and then just turned around and he had no blood on him.
It was a paper cut, man. It didn't, honestly, like, oh my God, I had so much to the match. It didn't really add anything, to be honest, but, the match, love the match, but, like, people overrate blood in one company versus another. Like they very much really overrated in AEW, overrated in WWE when it's a little trickle of blood. Like, when Rock busted open Cody, I was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's some real color there. But this here was just, it was a little bit, and that was it.
I mean, I didn't make a big deal because, like, when I saw, I'm like, oh, blood.
Well, no, I didn't say you. I'm just saying there were people online.
No, I know. I get what you mean. I mean, it's WWE. Like, AEW really. I mean, I don't think they do it as much anymore because, the brass kind of came down on them. But with WWE, it's just like, oh, we don't get it as much. So when we see it, it kind of, I guess, is a big deal, but not really. But yeah, I mean, the one with the segment with The Rock, I think, was much better. This was just, like you said, it felt like just a paper cut. And
it was bleeding, but it didn't to me, it was like, Cody got a little bit of blood on him. Then, like, it didn't really matter, like, 2-3 minutes later when he was cleaned up. I'm like, okay, well, so much for that.
Cool. But, I mean, the match was fun. It was a good match. I liked Cody's mom being there. I liked when she just, like, bitch slapped the shit out of AJ for, like, was it 3 or 4 times, and AJ's getting in her face and talking shit, and she's like, "You're an asshole," and just slapping him 3 times. Like there's a second where, like, I kind of thought, is AJ gonna use his mom as like a bargaining chip to make him say I quit? But no, that didn't really happen. She didn't really. I mean, she was a part of the match in one aspect, but she didn't really come out and do anything like spectacular. But a lot of the match was Cody fighting from underneath, which I like. That's how Cody needs to be presented, as this kind of underdog champion in some aspect, and AJ being the dick heel and just beating the shit out of him and making him bleed, quote unquote. And then Cody came back and got his or gave AJ his comeuppance, and the spot with the steel steps where AJ, or not AJ, but Cody's about to throw it at AJ, who's handcuffed in the corner, and then AJ says, "I quit." And Cody turns around to his mom and just says, "Should I do it?" And then Cody's mom just says, "Yeah, do it." So he just throws the steel steps at AJ anyway, and I don't know. It kind of happened a little quick, but I still enjoyed the match. It was fun. It was a nice way to open the show. But what about you?
Agree. Thought the match was damn good. Not better, obviously, than their Backlash match. I saw it was a good match. Good way for AJ to say, "I quit," threatening of being impaled by the steel steps. Thought I did what I need to do, and everyone looked good here. Cody looked good, AJ looked good, Cody's mom looked good. Everyone looked good here.
So over the weekend they did like one of those, like, I guess big, not press conferences, but like one of those like fan Q&A deals with Michael Cole and AJ. And Michael Cole brought up the fact that WWE is working with TNA, and AJ said, "Hey, I wouldn't mind working for TNA again now that we're doing this crossover." Now that AJ's done with Cody officially, do you see AJ going to TNA and just
Well, he's going to fucking Noah first.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He's going to Noah.
He's going to Noah first. He's going to go up against fucking Marufuji on the 13th. So I don't know if it's I don't know if it's just gonna be just a one-time match over there, or if it's gonna be like, he's gonna have a little tour over there. Probably just a one-time match, but July 13th, man, WWE and Japanese wrestling, fucking Noah and Marigold. I mean, it's gonna be the time and the place, because you got Io. You got Julia versus Sarai. Then now you got AJ Styles versus Marufuji. So yeah, can I see AJ and TNA? Yes, of course. Is it gonna happen anytime soon? I don't know, but yeah, of course. Like they're a working relationship right now. Of course, it's gonna happen at some point.
Not to mention last week at TNA's pay-per-view, which I'm blanking on the name. Tatum Paxley.
Sacrifice on North Wind or one or the other. Yeah. Tatum
Paxley, answered the open challenge of Jordan Grace, appearing on a TNA interview, which again, I love Tatum Paxley. I think people were expecting maybe a bigger name. I saw people expecting Natalia, but I'm just like, why Natalia? But
why would anyone expect a bigger name when if you saw the film on Sunday or last Saturday, wherever the pay-per-view was for NXT? You would know that Tam Paxley was probably going to be the special, the special entrant to go up against Jordan Grace.
Yeah, again, this is just people saying it. I'm like, you guys really?
Well, people need to start paying attention to wrestling more. You start paying attention a little bit more carefully, because, like,
yeah,
they gave you the context clues. They gave you the context clues that Tam Paxley was gonna probably not 100%, but probably go up against Jordan Grace. When Pax came out, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like,
yeah, good for her. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but like it just made sense. Like people are they're asking for too much, and they're not seeing the clues that are there already, right? Not to say that that's always gonna happen, but they kind of made that a little bit of a program. Tam Paxley looking at the TNA, Knockouts Championship, like, oh, okay, well, there's gonna be something down the line with Tam Paxley and Jordan Grace, and sure enough, it's a one-off match, but like, context clues, guys.
Sorry about that. No, you're 1,000% right. It's just it's like when I mentioned on the when we were doing the review for the NXT show, where people were actually surprised that Jordan Grace lost. I'm like, did you really think she was going to win? It's just, I don't know, just people, like you said, people just don't follow the breadcrumbs that were already laid there. So
they get so excited when crossovers like this happens, and they tend to forget to keep it grounded and think realistically. And when people don't think realistically, they think what they want to see, what they want to have happen. They get upset when they want to happen doesn't happen, and when they want to happen in the first place, it's not realistic. So that's why I don't really get really upset on outcomes and things like that, because I think realistically, I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
You think realistically too. So it's like, it's at the end of the day, it's like, do we want something to happen? Okay, yes, of course. But is it going to happen? Maybe, maybe not. And in this case, with Jordan Grace not winning the NXT Women's Championship, it's like, well, the likely outcome was that Roxanne was winning. What I mean? That was a likely outcome. If Roxanne would have lost to Jordan Grace, that would be a nice surprise, and I still would have been for it. Still would see where I went, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to see AJ and TNA. That'd bring back old memories. But yeah. So next match on the card was the triple threat tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. You have the Unholy Union, which is Alba Fire and Ala Dawn. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill were the tag champions, and then you had Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. This match was good. I mean, it wasn't great. Didn't really light my world on fire, but it was still, a passable, decent wrestling match. The story going in, as we discussed on the show last week, Alba Fire, the hometown girl from Scotland, her mom did pass away. I think you mentioned she had already passed away weeks prior. It's just the story was now hitting. Yeah, just a lot of emotion for her coming in, and color me shocked. I didn't think that they were actually going to give them the titles, and they did, and I'm happy. And it was a very emotional moment for Alba, who was watching Isla, hug her family, and Alba, I believe she was hugging her dad. And yeah, just again, it was very emotional for the girl. I got a little choked up watching her, get emotional and just be happy and, really let it all out. But I'm happy for the girls. There was a spot in the match where I don't know if you caught this, where Jade, someone had her in a sleeper hold or a choke hold, and she started tapping for some reason. I don't know why, but it was an odd spot. Again, Jade.
I think she was really tapping because, hey, you're really choking me here. I think, I don't know, but that's just my guess.
I mean, I know wrestlers communicate in the ring, so maybe that was her way, like you just said, of just saying, hey, you're doing a little bit too hard. But were you at all kind of shocked about the outcome of the match? Did you see them giving the titles to the two girls?
No, I didn't see you giving the titles because I predicted Jade and Bianca, but this is a good surprise here. I don't know if this was changed by changed because of what happened with Alba's mother. Triple H says that it didn't happen, but regardless of the fact, cool moment. I mean, they deserve an opportunity. They never really have gotten an opportunity yet on the main roster, and this is the biggest opportunity that they're going to get. And even if it doesn't work out to anything, they will still be known as tag team champions. They will still be known as champions in WWE. They will go down the WWE main roster record books as a champion. So if it doesn't end up working for them, which I think it will, I think it'll work out for them. But if it doesn't work out for them, hey, at the end of the day, they were still champions at some point. So that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, the moment I think superseded the match. And, I mean, that's fine. Most matches are pretty much moments. But, yeah, good for them. I'm happy for them. Next is you had a singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. The match was fine. I mean, a lot of the match was gaga, with Alpha Academy being there to do Chad Gable's mischievous deeds, but they didn't want to do it because, they're, that's what a heel does, and Chad Gable's a heel, but they don't want to be heels. So, I don't know, I feel like I've seen this match before, with a lot of it taking place on Raw and also the King of the Ring pay-per-view, but a lot of it was just anytime the referee had their back turned, it was Chad telling Maxine do something, Tozawa do something. I don't think Tozawa was there, but yeah, telling Otis do something, but he didn't want to do it. And during the tail end of the match, Maxine falls to the floor, and Otis picks her up and carries her out of the ring into the back, and then Sammy takes advantage with this Alula kick, 1, 2, 3, and Sammy is still the Intercontinental Champion, so Chad gets no more chances at the Intercontinental title. And then we'll talk about what happened the next night on Raw. But overall, what do you think about the match?
Very good match, very good storytelling with Otis. So, protecting Maxine and basically carrying her out the arena. We saw what happened on Raw too as well, but very very good breadcrumbs to this story. Also as well, Gable's face of after the match, him selling it, fantastic stuff. So
that was great.
Love it.
And to no one's surprise, Chad Gable re-signed with WWE. he announced on a podcast before the pay-per-view. So good for Chad. Maybe not so good for him after Monday, but good for Chad. He's staying with the team. The next match is for the WWE Women's Championship. You had Bayley versus another hometown hero, or not hero, I guess a hometown girl, Piper Niven. Actually missed this match. So what happened was I was at work, and I watched the first 3 matches while I was at work. This match was literally starting right when I was going home. So when I drove home, I missed the whole match, and I literally came home right when the main event began. So I'm pretty sure Bayley won. What were your overall thoughts and I guess a summary of the match?
It was a very good women's match, very good back and forth. A lot of people didn't really like this match. I don't understand why. I don't understand what they were trying to get from it. Not here by any means, but I thought it was a very good women's match. Piper looked the match against Bayley. It wasn't all just like Bayley leading the match. They were leading each other. It takes 2 to tangle, and Bayley gained the win. Yeah, she should. So I didn't expect Piper to win the match or win the title. I definitely expected Bayley, and she did. So that was a good match.
I mean, yeah, a lot of these matches were about people getting their moments, and that's fine. I know Piper Niven, she told the story about going up to Triple H and just shooting her shot, like pretty much like asking him, can I be on the show? And before she could ask him, Triple H just goes, "This is about the show, right?" And she's like, "How'd you know?" It's like, "We're working on something. We'll get you on." So, again, the Triple H era of things, giving everybody time, giving everybody their moment, and it's working out well, on both ends. So now the main event, which was the singles match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. You had Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. The Judgment Day were barred from ringside. From the stipulation on Monday's show. So Drew McIntyre came out as pretty much Jesus Christ. Probably got as much a bigger reaction as Bad Bunny did in Puerto Rico. As much, maybe not to the same length, because Bad Bunny is pretty much, the king of Puerto Rico. But yeah, Drew McIntyre came out to a huge reaction. People love Drew McIntyre. He's their guy. And he's telling Damian Priest, come out, you bastard. Damian Priest comes out, and it was a pretty good match. It was maybe the best match I've seen Damian Priest have since he's become champion. He looked more confident out there. There was a pretty scary spot where he gets his ankle tangled up in the rope, and much respect to Drew McIntyre, who found a way to stay in kayfabe while still helping him get out of the rope. I thought that was pretty cool of him. A lot of the match was a little predictable, and there's nothing wrong with predictable. It just matters how you work with it. And it was good predictable in this case. Everything that happened, we kind of figured was going to happen, and it happened. Especially the ref bump. As soon as the ref bump happened, that's when you figured, okay, we know what's going to happen here. And it did. Drew's calling for a ref to come out, and again, the camera work in WWE is so much fucking better since Kevin Dunn left. You just see somebody running out with a ref shirt, and you don't really hear anyone reacting to who's in the ref shirt. You just see the camera angle of somebody counting 1, 2, and then they stop, and the camera pans to the back of their head, and you realize, oh shit, it's him. It's Punk. And he just has that look on his face like, I told you, motherfucker. I told you I would make your life a living hell. And he just does like the 2 count of like, I got you back. And then he kicks Drew in the balls. Damian goes for South of Heaven. 1, 2, 3. And, Punk, doesn't get as heavy as boos as I assumed it would be. Like Scotland, I've never seen a Scotland wrestling crowd before. But more like emotional. Where like they get mad and they just get quiet, and Drew's kind of like egging him on to try to not Drew. Punk is egging him on to, I guess, to be more angry. But Scotland's like, no, we're gonna go home and deal with this. But yeah, that was the main event. What'd you think about the show? The main event.
Very good main event too as well. Damian Priest's best match as champion so far. Drew looked very good as well. The crowd was super hot, as you would imagine for a main event like this. So Drew McIntyre being a main event in his home country. CM Punk coming out there, not surprised, because again, follow the breadcrumbs, right? Context clues. Very, 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 very good camera shot of when CM Punk came in the ring. He was kind of the 1, 2, and you knew it was him, but you didn't know it was him. And, he didn't count the 3. You see his face. Great camera work. Great production from WWE. But, yeah. Very good match. And of course, Damian wins. And, yeah, we go on to Money in the Bank.
Yes, sir. That's actually coming up a lot sooner than I thought. It's coming up on July 5th. July 6th or July 5th, I believe. In Toronto, mind you, but that was Clash of the Castle. What's an overall grade you give that? Whether it be like a number or a letter grade?
I give it a probably a 7.5 out of 10. Good show. Nothing fantastic or anything, but 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll probably give it the same grade. So that was Clash of the Castle. Sorry about that. Let's move on to Monday Night Raw. Post I guess aftermath of Clash of the Castle. It was in Corpus Christi, Texas, and they were sold out as they usually have been. The show opens with quite a shocker, actually. Seth Rollins is back. We were, I guess, led to believe that he was going to be out for an undisclosed amount of time, as we usually hear, but he's back. He looks like he's in much better shape. He looks like he can actually work, or not work, but walk. And he comes back, and Damian Priest meets him, pretty much saying, the last time we wrestled, you were a much better wrestler than me. Oh, no, there's no camera. My camera's on. Talking to the missus. He's saying, the last time we wrestled, you were a much better wrestler than me. Now I'm the champion, and I want to give you that title shot at Money in the Bank. So, Damian Priest and Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. What were your thoughts about Seth coming back? Were you shocked? What happened?
Shocked. Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say I was shocked, but it was a nice surprise. Seeing Seth come out there. There was no news, obviously, and that's what pro wrestling is supposed to be about. Moments like this without having the news, it's very tough to get around that nowadays. And WWE's been very well covering things like this, like surprise returns and debuts and things like that, very, very well. Like the Ethan Page, like the Jordan Grace. So they know how to, they know how to funnel those things pretty well. But Seth coming out there, challenging Damian for Money in the Bank. Well, looks like we're gonna have a new World Heavyweight Champion.
You think so? You think they're really gonna potshot the title back to Seth?
Yes. Seth versus Gunther sells tickets. Not Damian and Gunther. Sorry.
Okay.
It sells tickets. I mean, it's just gonna be, Seth's just gonna be a transitional champion to get on over to Gunther. So.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, not every title reign has to be, 12 months. You can just have like a 1 or 2 month title reign. So, but yeah, makes sense. Seth and Gunther.
I mean, the Damian experience, they tried. I stated vehemently he wasn't ready. He had some good matches. He had some moments, but overall, this title reign has been less than what it should have been. It should have been more, but
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Chad Gable versus Braun Strowman, which was, you already knew what was going to happen there. With Strowman coming out on top. Afterwards, Chad, of course, berating, Alpha Academy, taking away Maxine's crutch, which again, what a bastard for that. And then getting into Zawa's face and shoving him, as soon as Otis heard the sound of somebody hitting the mat, he turns around and gets in Chad's face and shoves him. And Chad, of course, being a chicken shit, like, oh, Otis, don't hurt me. And then he walks out of the ring and takes the rest of Alpha Academy with him. You get to the back, and Chad, getting in Otis's face, like, what are you doing? Where are you going? And he's like, wait, what are you doing? And Otis pretty much gets in Chad's face and says, we're done, and then leaves. And Chad pretty much just saying, hey, I don't need you. I can win Money in the Bank and be World Heavyweight Champion. Chad's had a pretty he's had a pretty rough 48 hours. The rest of the show was Money in the Bank qualifying matches. You had Kiana James, Zelina Vega, and Io Sky in a pretty decent triple threat. Io Sky coming out on top, which makes sense because she's the I guess the defending Money in the Bank winner from last year, so good for her. Sami Zayn sets up I guess future challenges with Braun Breaker and Sheamus, but it's more than likely going to be Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker winning that title, and then Sheamus coming out to pretty much just say, no, me. And then, Braun getting in Sheamus's face and, wanting to challenge the old-timer, as he would say. I'm going to kind of skip through the rest of the show, because the rest of the show was kind of filler. Drew McIntyre comes out to address the events of Clash at the Castle, but can't really get a sentence out. He's just too emotionally devastated and just says, screw this company, I quit. He walks to the back. Adam Pearce is following him. Triple H tries to convince him otherwise, but he says, no, I'm out. So Drew McIntyre is quitting, quote unquote. But SmackDown just happens to be in Chicago this Friday with CM Punk, so you never know who might show up.
Why is CM Punk on SmackDown?
It's in Chicago.
I know that, but But what I'm saying is he's a Raw wrestler. Make it make sense, please. I'm just saying he's a Raw wrestler. I get it, Chicago. Have him come out if it's after SmackDown, fine. Totally get it, right? But stupid. It's dumb. That's all I gotta say. If they try to make sense of it, like, hey, well, I invited CM Punk over for this. Who can we get over to all this? If they do like an exchange or something for the week, okay, fine. If they explain it that way, okay, I'll be alright with it. But just on the surface, it's pretty fucking stupid.
I mean, maybe if like Nick Aldis comes out and says, I personally invited CM Punk to come out and, blah blah blah. I don't fucking like. I agree with you. Like, make it make sense. Because I thought that they were gonna do this with this draft, where it's just like make it to where people appearing on their own shows. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I do think Drew McIntyre is gonna show up and try and cause a ruckus. You had Sheamus versus Braun Breaker. in a pretty physical back and forth with ending in a no contest after Kaiser came out and took out Sheamus. Afterwards, there's a nice little shot of like Kaiser doing his usual move where he runs around the ring and like drop kick somebody into the steel steps. But while that happens, Braun Breaker, while they're in sync, runs around the ring too to spear the shit out of Kaiser, and then gets in Sami Zayn's face. So pretty much it's a done deal that Breaker is going to be Zayn's next opponent for the Intercontinental title, and more than likely will win, which makes sense. And then you had the main event, which was a Money in the Bank qualifier. We had Jey Uso versus Rey Mysterio and Finn Balor. Rey looking pretty good out there, like he always does, ever since he got that stem cell treatment. Jey Uso getting the win, which makes sense, because at the end of the day, Jey Uso is over, and people chant his catchphrase, and so it makes sense to have Jey Uso in the match. But afterwards, Justin, the lights went out, kind of like how they did with a certain fiend, certain character from back in the day.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to be descriptive.
Well, I mean, everyone knows what we're talking about.
I know. I was trying to be cute, but that didn't work. But yeah, Bray Wyatt, a la Bray Wyatt, and you saw the Fireflies in attendance. Corpus Christi a lot more livelier than they have been in the past.
Yeah, I gotta give them credit.
Good on you, Corpus Christi.
Yeah. I mean, I got friends there. I got friends there who are in wrestling there. So, so good for the city actually being alive for Monday Night Raw. So very good.
Yes, sir. And then you hear the piano riff from Bray's old theme song, but it's just literally the piano going dun dun dun, and you see the door, you see it open, and then you see somebody crawl, on the floor to the lantern, and it's Nikki Cross. I mean, kind of tell it's Nikki Cross, but in disguise, she's wearing a mask, looking pretty creepy. I'm bad. And then she points to the back, and the camera guy goes to the back, and nothing but chaos in the back. People have been attacked, and pretty brutally, I might add. You can't really make out who it is. I know somebody said it was Gunther in the back. I don't think they would let
that was not Gunther. No, 100% not Gunther. That is a local wrestler here from San Antonio, Casey Black Rose.
Oh, sweet. Shout out to San Antonio. But yeah, there's chaos in the back. This new group is they're not coming in quietly. Nobody is safe. But then you see somebody with a hammer, which you can kind of tell who that is. It's Mr. Eric Rowan, Eric Redbeard, however you choose to call him. The hammer says "Help me," and he's wearing a bunny mask. And then you go back to Gorilla, where Bruce Pritchard, Triple H usually sit. They obviously left. It would have been a nice touch if they were a part of it, just to kind of show nobody is safe, not even the boss. But that's just me. It's all fucked up. And then you see somebody, I'm forgetting what kind of mask it was, sitting crisscross on top. That was Dexter Lumis, I believe. You go to the back again, you see somebody else just with their arms crossed, pointing to the left. I believe that was Joe Gacy. And then you see poor Chad Gable, who just looked like he got the shit beat out of him with blood, quote unquote, across his forehead, or on the side of his head, actually.
You want to know what would be funny? It'd be funny that if Otis would have shot him in the head right before this all happened, and he just so happens to be there. Like you just shot him in the head, like Otis just killed Chad Gable, and literally right before that, the lights turn off, and the White Six basically killed them all. So
like, instead of who shot JR, it's who shot Chad. Or who shot Mr. Burns? It was Otis the whole time. It was Maggie. It ended up being Maggie the baby. No. And then you get to that really sweet looking shot of Uncle Howdy, who has a new looking mask, which I liked. I dug. That was a kind of a nice shot. It was actually kind of creepy the way he was standing, just in that light. I'm like, ooh, that's nice. Walks to the ring with everybody behind him. Grabs a lantern, gives the old catchphrase, "We're here," and that's how the show closes with the WYATT SICKS, not a six, but SICKS 6, which I counted 5. As I believe Alexa Bliss is supposed to be a part of the group. I don't know why she wasn't there, but maybe she'll come soon. But I don't know. That's just me.
Or my other theory is that's one. But my other theory is Bray Wyatt is the 6th one in spirit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe that maybe that's something that could be going for too as well.
I really dug the segment. My expectations were a little low, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, a lot of people's expectations were a little low. Not everyone, but I was playing a little bit more even kill on it because it didn't happen yet. But I thought the segment was great. I thought I'll say this: like anyone would tell you, like, okay, well, will be a difference between AEW and WWE. Just like not like the drama bullshit or anything. But the one thing you can point out, and that I think that's like undisputed, WWE is 100% better at production, and the production quality that they did for this was fucking immaculate. Ain't nothing I ever seen before. You know what I mean? On how it was just one take too. It wasn't like cutaways or anything. It was one take. It was like walking through a haunted house, pretty much. I thought it was excellent. Very, very, very much so. Excellent job. Excellent job of them debuting. Bray Wyatt looking down and just saying, basically just smiling at this, right? They come in, they kill the whole roster right now. I'm going to have to ask questions because this is what I do, right? I loved it. But I got a couple questions. One is, if you killed most of these people, right? How can you explain them having a show next week when everyone in Gorilla died? How can you explain that some of the wrestlers, I'm presuming anyone that was backstage is dead?
I don't know,
how can we explain that?
Maybe not dead, but they just got the shit beat out of them.
Oh, well, shit. I mean, a lot of them look dead to me, but I get you. I understand you. Okay, well, that's number one. And also number two, you do all this. It was great. Fantastic stuff. I really, 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 really liked it. Where do you go from here? What's the next step?
That was my question.
That's the next thing. Great. What's the next step? Who are you targeting? Who, what's the what's your goal? Don't know. We'll find out, obviously. But yeah, that's why I want to say, because you can't debut a group this strong just to make them look like second father. You know what I mean? These guys need to win championships. These guys need to win for a very long time. I don't want to see no one losing in this group. You know what I mean? Or at least pinned. You know what I mean? If it's a triple threat match, that's something different. But as long as no one's getting pinned or submit, right? This group needs to look dominant for a while. So it's like, where do you go from here?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that up. You really do need to make this group look strong. They can't lose matches on television, especially Bo, or Uncle Howdy, however you want to refer to him as. Like, he can't lose. He needs to look strong. And like you also said, like, who do they target from here on out? Like, are they just primarily just going to be on Raw? Are they going to be on SmackDown? Are they going to be one of those groups that just does whatever the fuck they want? Like, that's what you need to do, because, is this going to be a legit group, or is this just going to be a Bray Wyatt tribute? And if that's the case, it has a very short shelf life. Just being honest. So I'm
high on this group, or higher. I'm not high on the group. I'm higher on the group than others, but I'm just giving it a chance week by week.
Oh no,
I'm asking.
I'm giving it a chance too. Like, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just like, again, I'm kind of going off of what you just said. I was less than optimistic than you were about this group going in because, again, for obvious reasons, like, how's it going to work? Like, what are you going to do? What's the payoff? And I love what I saw because a lot of these groups, these, like, super maniacal, scary groups like the Wyatt family, for example, it seems like whenever they debut, there's really no consequences, if that makes sense. Like, when the Wyatt family debuted, yeah, it was a pretty cool thing, but just after a while, they just were like, okay, we're going to have them lose on an episode of SmackDown. And with this group, they did something interesting where they debuted them, but they made them seem like a big deal by taking out everybody in the backstage, where it's just like, okay, nobody's safe. Like, even Jey Uso was like, I got out of there just in time. Like, I'm not going to deal with all this shit. So maybe he's, like, first on their list. I don't know. But I like that they did that with a group like this. But, again, we'll see. We'll see where they go from here. Again, I saw a great debut, but, capitalize on it. That's really all I gotta say about that. But that was Raw. So we're gonna go to NXT, which was the next night, as it usually is. The show opens with a battle royal, a 25-man battle royal, to determine who will be Trick Williams' next challenger at Heatwave, which is July 7th. The previous week, Cody announced the match, but he also said, there's going to be 25 men in this match, and some are going to be from different locker rooms. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. The show opens with the 25-man battle royal. Frankie Kazarian from TNA was a part of it.
Yep.
As well as
WWE appearance in something like 2005, or he had like 1 or 2 matches like on SmackDown, if I remember right.
Actually, Velocity.
No, Velocity. What? Yeah, the SmackDown Heat, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they're making him seem like a big deal, and then he just disappeared. So, but because catchphrase was like, "The future's looking pretty good," and then he just disappeared and went to TNA and had success there. So, he came out, as well as say his name and he appears, which had a fucking huge reaction. Joe Hendry, on WWE television. It's still pretty crazy to get used to. He had the best reaction of the night.
Probably one of the best reactions of the year.
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there.
And like the camera was shaking, like.
Mm-hmm. I've actually been watching reactions to it, and it's pretty cool. Comes out, gets eliminated first, which is just like, okay, you're gonna have Joe Hendry on WWE television, have him get eliminated like first, but
it's fine. I mean, he cut a promo, and I mean, like people like he didn't need to be in there long. Like, he got his promo time, and he translated. Like, I think they're actually going to be making something out of this with Joe Hendry as well. Because like he approached Shawn Michaels outdoors backstage. Yeah. So I think there's a lot more to this than what it looks like. So again, WWE knows how over he is, and it confirmed that with his fucking entrance. So it's fine. And also as well, what confirms it even more that WWE and Joe Hendry will be working together again in some fashion is that Joe Hendry's arrival in WWE is now WWE's second most liked video on their Twitter page since post WrestleMania season.
Which, there was that segment, when he went backstage and complained to Shawn Michaels and said, I can appear anywhere, anytime on any show. And then Shawn, smiled and said, I believe. So, they're obviously happy with his reaction, as they should be. Again, I didn't expect him to win. I just found it kind of weird that he was the first one to be eliminated. But, again, like you said,
plus Frankie Kazarian eliminated him too as well. So there's that. So I'm pretty sure they're working into a story on TNA as well for that. So, but
again, good for Joe Hendry, and obviously I want to see more of him. on WWE television, and so is WWE. The rest of the Battle Royal, very cut and dry. The show ends with, I guess the final three end up being Evans, Spears, and Kazarian. Surprisingly, he lasted that long. He got eliminated. And then it came down to Sean Spears and Evans, with Evans getting the win. Earlier in the match, Ethan Page gets attacked by Oro Mensah. I'm sorry. So he technically wasn't eliminated. He was just taken out of the match. And then afterwards, he complains to Ava, and Evans, pretty much tells him you're a goof, and if you want to fight, I'll fight you tonight. So later on the show, you would have Ethan Page versus Evans in the main event. But yeah, again, good for Joe Henry, like we mentioned. The rest of the show, you had Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice versus Metaphor versus JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. JC Jane coming out with Cody's mask that he bestowed upon her the week before, and she's really taking it to heart. So good for her. Decent tag match. It's a good back and forth, but Perez and Vice coming out on top as they should. And then afterwards, Perez punches Lola Vice in the face, as we all expected. So I'm assuming she's going to be the number one contender. Next is you had the NXT Women's North American Championship, Kalani Jordan versus Michin. Decent match. Probably one of the better matches that Kalani has had in a while. With a good ring veteran in Michin. During the match, you had OTM come out to kind of cause a distraction with the OC. And while Michin is on the top rope, you had Jada Parker knock her off the top rope, and Kalani goes for her, what is it? I think she calls it the one-of-a-kind moon split or something like that. But with paying homage to Rob Van Dam, I'm assuming she's a Van Dam fan, but Kalani gets the win.
Yeah, she models her in-ring style to Van Dam. Like, she posts, like I guess, so not too many people know this. So if you come into the Performance Center, right, and you don't really have any idea, about wrestling, right? Because you get a lot of people that know very little about wrestling, right? They're probably very casual. They try to use your strengths and try to compare you to a wrestler in the past. So, for example, Kalani Jordan gravitated towards Rob Van Dam, so she started watching his stuff, and became infatuated with him. So that's what a lot of these talents that come into the PC, they try to find a wrestler that they can emulate and start to emulate them and watch their matches and things of that nature. So yeah, just a little bit of nugget of information. That's what usually happens for wrestlers that come into PC who weren't really big wrestling fans growing up, or like even in adulthood.
So already you have three different women who do moonsaults. You have Io, who does her moonsault. You have Tiffany with the prettiest moonsault. And now you have Kalani with the split-legged moonsault, which, granted, they're all variations. Yep. Io does, her... Like, she puts both feet on top of the rope, and then she takes time to pose and goes for a moonsault. Tiffany does, the 3 pumps, and then does a moonsault. And
she the BME.
And then pretty soon you're going to have Jacob Fatu coming in, and he does a moonsault.
Yep.
So, pretty cool.
Yep.
The moonsault isn't done enough, so it's good to see people putting the moonsault to good use. You had Obafemi cut a promo, and Wesley coming out, saying that he wants a shot. He wants a one-on-one match with Oba for the North American title. Oba grants him his request, but lets him know once I win, you're not going to have any other shots at this North American title as long as I'm champion. So, I don't know what that means. I don't know if Wes is going to win or Wes is going to lose. I don't know what you think about that.
Say that again?
So Oba gave Wes another title shot.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah. I didn't hear the last part you said.
No, sorry about that. So I was asking, like, how do you feel about that? Do you think Wes is going to win? Do you think Wes is going to lose? Like, what do you think?
think West has a great chance of winning.
Okay. All right, makes sense. I'm fine. I'm fine with West winning. I don't think Oba needs a long title reign. Because I think they want to put the world title on pretty soon, or NXT world title on pretty soon. So, rest of the show, you had Fallon Henley versus Carly Bright. It was a match, as you would say. It's a match. Nothing too special about it. The OC versus Chase U. Thea Hale again showing off why she's great with her facials. Getting mad at the OC, wanting to go at him. So she's great. Main event, you had Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. Javon, again, I like Javon Evans. I've turned the corner on him. I think he's really good. Again, 20 years old. How he's able to do all this is amazing. And then you had a guy like Ethan Page, who, probably gave Evans the best match he's had, or one of the best matches he's had. You had Trick Williams, who was at commentary to kind of hype up the match and maybe even hype up hype up the upcoming pay-per-view. Evans, working hurt because he worked earlier in the night, so he had, bruised ribs, quote unquote. Page taking advantage of that, and then, gets his win, which was a, what do you call it? His finisher, Scott Steiner's finisher. Razor's Edge, there you go, I'm sorry. Which I like. I like when anyone uses a Razor's Edge. It's a pretty underrated move. Gets the win. So, is Paige going to be inserted into the match? Pretty cool. Then you see Sean Spears come out to take out Evans. Trick Williams takes it, levels the playing field, and the show ends with all four men in different corners of the ring, and then you see the NXT title in the middle of the ring. You see Javon Evans gradually grab the NXT title and put it in the middle of the ring, while all four men are scattered on the different corners of the ring. So I thought that was a pretty nice shot.
Four-way coming.
And I'm fine with it. Again, I like Javon Evans, I like Trick Williams, but they're both very green. So it helps to have, Sean Spears and Ethan Page in it to kind of like pretty much, pretty much, agent the match, essentially. So that way there's not too much green in the ring. But I'm fine with it. What do you think about NXT overall?
Very fun show. Very fun show. Good follow-up to Battleground.
Nice. But that was NXT. What happened with Dynamite tonight?
Didn't watch Dynamite.
All right, then.
I was watching the Pop-Out.
What is the Pop-Out?
The Kendrick Lamar concert.
Oh.
In LA.
Oh, nice. How was
it? It was on Amazon Music. The only thing I did see from Dynamite, I stopped and I watched Mina Shirakawa, and that's it.
All right, pretty cool. All right, so what do we talk about? Really, nothing in the news. I guess I can skip the ICP comments. Violent J from ICP made comments about CM Punk, and
well, why is it? What the fuck?
I don't know. I just thought it would be something interesting to talk about, but long story short, he's mad that CM Punk didn't shake his hand in TNA 20 years ago, and yeah, I don't know.
Get over it. Like, it's fucking 20 years ago.
So I don't know. I forgot ICP was a thing. Goldberg is open to having one more match. Says it doesn't need to be in WWE. He did an interview. Busted Open Radio. There you go. Yeah. They asked him about potentially doing one more match. He says, "Oh man, I'd love to, 100%. I have to get my torn rotator cuff taken care of finally because we all live with these injuries, dude. Right? And I'll come out and say when I came back with Brock." And nobody ever knew this. I came back with Brock the first night, and in Denver, I blew my rotator cuff completely. And I never told anybody about it, and I kept working through it. And because you have this sparring, you work sparingly once or twice a year, right? so I can crescendo and get as strong as I can. And yeah, he pretty much just kind of says the same thing over and over again. It says Vince McMahon gave me so many opportunities. I'll be forever grateful. But yeah, I would absolutely love to have that final match. I am. Am I good not having it? Yeah, I'm fine with it, but it'd be neat to have one. When asked whether it needs to be in WWE or a place like AEW, Goldberg is open to promoting it himself. So, would you like to see Goldberg have one more match?
I'm not for or against it. If he wants to have another match, let him have another match.
I'd be fine.
As long as it makes sense.
I'd be fine with him working Braun.
I mean, sure.
I mean, I say that because apparently him and Braun are pretty tight. I mean, he's pretty tight with the Steiners, and
that's fine. I mean, put him over. I mean, sure.
The spear versus the spear.
It's to be a short match,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be long, but yeah, there we go. Speaking of Goldberg, have you been watching the Who Killed WCW?
I have been, yes.
What do you think?
It's nothing that I haven't heard in the last 20 years. It's really good. I love it.
It's entertaining.
But as a WCW connoisseur, it's a more recent telling of the same stories that I've been hearing for the last 20 years.
It's fun because it's not done through the guise of WWE, where you have people giving their 2 cents about WCW that probably never watched one episode of WCW Nitro or even like Thunder.
Well, no, I don't watch that fucking shit. I don't watch fucking Sam Roberts talking about WCW. Like, if you want the story of WCW, just look up the Rise and Fall of WCW. Fucking awesome documentary.
Well, that's what I kind of meant, where it's just like you have like, because I say that because like I remember like CM Punk, for example, like he did a thing for SmackDown for like the 10 years of SmackDown, and he admitted like I never actually watched SmackDown before. They just told me to come in and say things about SmackDown and be like, "Oh yeah, I remember when that happened. I was freaked out by it." But yeah, it's different seeing it from like a non-biased point of view, quote unquote. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. But like you said, it's nothing we haven't heard before. It's basically just people that made a lot of money but are still complaining. You have Bret Hart, who's still mad about Goldberg ending his career, which deservedly so. He should be mad. And then Goldberg acting surprised that people are mad at him for being stiff in the ring. Which Goldberg is like, are you supposed to hurt people in the ring? So, I don't fucking know. But, I know episode 3 came out. And that was going to be about Vince Russo, which that should be delicious. That'll be a delicious episode. And just Eric Bischoff, God bless him, still loves Hulk Hogan, still stands by Hulk Hogan, never wants to say a bad word about Hulk Hogan, but will gladly let somebody else take the fall. But and Bret Hart still hates everybody. That's always fun to listen to. But we can do TV ratings real quick.
I had a couple news stories.
Oh, go for it.
Not that it's nothing huge or anything, but I just want to catch people up if they haven't heard. First and foremost, Good Brother's going to be likely to join AJ Styles in Japan with AJ Styles versus Marufuji at Noah's Destination 2024, July 13th. So, it's kind of a big deal to Japanese wrestling fans because of, you got your former IWGP Tag Team Champions being in the enemy's promotions. It's kind of like if the New Day, let's say like Big E was healthy and he went to go wrestle, K Omega, and like Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods went with them to AEW, for the one-time event. So it's kind of a big deal. WWE has recently trademarked the name Tala Tonga. I wonder who that could be for. And any guesses, Drew?
Well, isn't there another Tonga that's coming to WWE?
Yeah, I'm being funny, but
hilarious.
Yeah. My jokes are worse than anyone's in the world. Hangman Page is poised for an AEW return, expected to be within the next month, likely by early July. Hangman was out with personal reasons, likely to be mental. I don't know why it says that. I don't know why it says mental, but probably mental health, I'm assuming. But I know you're not a huge Hangman fan, but in AEW in general, so we'll just skip that. And last but not least, WWE is looking to establish promotional partnerships within companies both Puerto Rico and Mexico. And that's coming from Lucha Libre Online. So this is something I really wanted to be hoping for a while, because we see WWE working working for over there in the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Japan. Never really tried to get into that Mexican. I think that's very, 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 very good, because pro wrestlers and Mexican wrestlers are more connected to WWE rather than anything else. Also, that as well, pay-per-view in Mexico, that'll be pretty fucking cool. I think I want to see that. Be a little bit different, right? And it'll be a regular pay-per-view time as well. So that'll be something I'd probably want to see. But any thoughts about the news stories here about the Good Brothers, about Tala Tonga, about Adam Page, or about the potential partnership with WWE and promotions in Mexico and Puerto Rico?
I mean, the Good Brothers joining AJ, it makes sense, because, I guess wherever AJ goes, they go, so good for them. The Tala Tonga, another member of the Bloodline, cool. Again, I'm not familiar with his work, so I can't really speak on him too much.
Yeah, he's a big son of a bitch.
Big son of a bitch. When you guys say like Pat McAfee, that is one bag son of a bitch. Yeah. Adam Page, I think he's an empty-headed dump. I'm playing. At the end of the day, your mental health is always important overall. Without getting too much into detail, I kind of had a mental health episode last Monday.
Damn! I'm sorry to hear that, man. Damn.
Long story short, past trauma, came back to bite me in the ass.
No, you ain't gotta go in detail, man. But yeah, I'm just sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Just things, the little things, but I'm all right now. I'm here, so I'm here. That's all I got to put it. But however I feel about Mr. Page, I hope he's okay. I generally do hope he's okay. And WWE business deals with Mexico, and I forget what the other countries you mentioned were.
Puerto Rico and Mexico.
I mean, the Puerto Rico show last year was fucking dope, so that'll be awesome. And a Mexico show, I believe the last time WWE did a Mexico show, I know it was a Raw. I think it was 2011.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's when they were insisting on... Yeah, Kyle saying 2011, thank you. A long time ago. That was when they were insisting on pushing Del Rio as a draw, but that didn't really go over that well. Yeah, pay-per-view in Mexico, that'd be awesome. I'm all for it. But those are my thoughts.
Yep, alright. Well, that's all I had.
Ratings. Let me do ratings real quick. The NXT ratings haven't come out yet, which is weird, because they usually come out around 5 on Wednesdays. But I know last week they...
Yeah, so go ahead.
Last week they actually did pretty well. They actually beat Dynamite. So that was pretty them.
Two different nights.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know how the news is.
I mean, yeah, well, I know how the community is. Guys, right. Chill. It matters, but it doesn't. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Jesus, man. AEW is a. We know that AEW is a sinking ship right now. You know what I mean? But whatever. Fuck it.
Right.
Be the bigger person. Be the bigger person and not gloat, because you know what these AEW fans were doing? They were gloating when they were beating NXT, and look what that gloating got them.
Yep.
So just be the bigger person. Don't pay no attention to it. Don't pay no mind to it. Don't try to sneak diss it. Don't try to like it or retweet it or whatnot, and just be like, oh, look at what you looking at this. AEW's in the shit, or no. Just be the bigger person and be the mature one. Move on.
Yeah. Last week NXT had a 718. Dynamite had a 681. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. SmackDown from June the 14th had a 1.9 and a .52 in the demo. Rampage had a 334 and a .12 in the demo. Collision from June the 15th had a 431 rating and .13 in the demo. Raw this past Monday on the 17th had a 1.747 and a .55 in the demo, so pretty good. They had competition with the NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics won. They beat the Mavericks in 5 games, so they now have 18 championships. So
yeah. Fucking Dallas is still a piece of shit city. Thank God.
Yeah,
I just could not take. You know, at one point of this fucking playoff run, Kyrie, they're the best backcourt of all time.
No, they're not. No.
But did you hear that? Did you hear that like on ESPN and shit?
Yeah.
It's like I stayed quiet because I just wanted them to lose so fucking bad, and they lost, and I feel so much fucking better now. Oh, I can't wait till next season.
And the NBA draft is next Wednesday. So
yeah.
So the
Spurs got the 4th and 8th pick.
So Spurs. The prediction was that they were going to get Topic, but after getting injured again. No, he doesn't. No. They're not. They're apparently going to get Stephen Castle.
Yeah, I think Castle. If they go Castle, Dillingham will be okay, or Castle, Ron Holland. I'm okay with that too. Now, this number 1 pick is going to be a situation here because Alex Starr is not the consistent number 1 pick now. There's been hints of maybe Klingon, or probably Reece Shea as the number 1 pick. If that happens, we may end up if Klingon goes number 1, which that's a very small likelihood. But if Klingon goes number 1, we may not get Castle. We may end up with Reed Shepherd, which I'll be okay with. But I think Stefan Castle's better for the team. So
yeah, we'll see. He's a 6'7" dual guard. He can play point guard, shooting guard. So
he wants to play point guard. He wants to go to a team that doesn't have a franchise point guard, and we currently don't have a franchise point guard currently. So, maybe that can work.
Do you see him working with Wemby?
Yeah, anyone can work with Wemby. Anybody can work with Wemby. Wemby is so he's so unique. Literally, like 98% of the NBA can work with Wembanyama in one way or another. Literally anybody.
He's training with Jamal Crawford, which I don't know. It's a 7'5" center, power forward, however you want to describe him. Already shoots threes, runs the court like a guard, and now he's gonna have now he's being trained by Jamal Crawford. Like that's just. This guy's gonna be scary. Like there was even that quote I think you saw it where somebody said, all these GMs are already have the mindset of we're gonna get our winning out of the way because in a few years this guy's gonna be a problem.
Well, I mean, next year he's already a problem. But like I suspect to win MVP, not next year but the year after. He'll definitely be top 3 MVP in the 2025-2026 season.
I mean, he's a human cheat code. Like literally, like if you play with him on fucking 2K, it's easy. In real life, it's easy. So he just needs a better surrounding, system with him. Which obviously the Spurs are gonna get what they need from him or get what they need for him. But all right, so we're at an hour 20. I wanted to play this game. It should go by pretty quick. So in the past. On this show, me and Justin used to play a game called Guess the Card. Kind of similar to what Jim Cornette and Brian Last do on their show. So what I did is I found 3 cards. I mixed it up. 1 WWF, 1 WCW, and 1 TNA. So, Justin, which one would you like me to pick first?
Surprise me.
All right, I'll go with WCW. So this is a 90s WCW pay-per-view. Basically, how the game is played, people, for anyone that's not familiar, is I start from the bottom, and I just give a match, and I keep going until Justin guesses what the match is. And for bonus points, or not the match, the show, and for bonus points, guess the date, the venue, if he can. But as long as he guesses the actual show, it's fine, and the year. So, are you ready, Justin?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to start with the first match. The first match on this show was Johnny B. Bad versus Diamond Dallas Page for the television championship.
Sounds like a fall brawl.
No.
Well, I'm not. Jesus, man. Let me. Jesus, man. All right, go ahead.
All right. Next match was Randy Savage versus the Zodiac.
Okay.
Next match was Kurosawa with Colonel Robert Parker versus Road Warrior Hawk.
Sounds like 95.
You're right on the year.
I don't remember. It's Starcade. I don't know. But yeah, keep going.
Next was Sabu with the Sheik versus Mr. JL.
Or maybe World War III. No, not World War III. That's not World War III. Yeah, keep going. Or Fall Brawl, something like that.
Lex Luger defeated Mang by disqualification.
Okay.
Sting and Ric Flair defeated Brian Pillman and Arn Anderson by disqualification.
All right.
You might get it with this next match. Hulk Hogan defeated the Giant in a sumo.
Halloween Havoc. Halloween
Monster
Havoc
truck
95 Halloween Havoc, Cobo Hall, Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, no, Detroit. I'm sorry. Detroit. Yeah.
Name of the venue?
Well, they're on top of Cobo Hall, but that wasn't the arena, though. They're on top of Cobo Hall for the monster truck. I know that, but I don't remember the arena for...
It's one of the most famous arenas in Detroit. Well, I don't know if it's there anymore. But,
was the Palace? Is it Auburn Hills? It's not the Palace, is it?
I'll give you a hint.
Oh, Joe Louis. Joe
There you go.
Louis. Yeah.
There you go. The tagline was "There's nowhere to hide."
Yeah, one of the worst pay-per-views of all time.
Nice.
So Johnny B. Bad and Diamond Dallas Page, like they had like 3 or 4 openers in '95. So
yeah, poor Mark.
For the television title. So yeah,
poor Mark Miro. All right, so I got a WWF and a TNA. Which one? If you had to choose, I'll choose WWF. So this is a '90s pay-per-view for WWF. So I'm gonna start with. Oh shit! This is too obvious. Yeah, I think this is too obvious. I think you're gonna get what this pay-per-view is right off the bat. All right, I'll give the match, but I won't say what kind of match.
Well, pick another show then.
All right, let me. Sorry about this, people. Give me one second while I find a different match. 90s pay-per-view. Go with 94. 95. Oh, here we go. Found one. Alright, sweet. Alright, so I got a 90s pay-per-view. Less obvious. So, it's a WWF pay-per-view. So, your boy, Savio Vega versus Waylon Mercy.
Keep going.
Okay. Psycho Sid defeated Henry O. Godwin.
Okay.
The British Bulldog defeated Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay.
Dean Douglas defeated Razor Ramon.
Not for the Intercontinental Championship, right?
No, it was a singles match. Just a regular singles match.
Gotcha.
Bret Hart defeated Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
CO.
Submission by submission.
Oh, that's in your house. That's in your house 2 or 3, I want to say.
3.
3, yeah. Yeah. As soon as you said this, as soon as Bret Hart defeated Jean-Pierre the Beat. Yeah, that's definitely in your house.
Can you guess the venue?
I don't know. They did a lot of them in smaller cities. Back then, they didn't do them in a lot of big cities because, a lot of these pay-per-views were not very well attended. I'm gonna guess Illinois.
I'll give you one more guess. Think Midwest.
Wisconsin?
No, it was. I never even heard of this city. It's really a small town, Saginaw, Michigan.
Oh yeah.
In the Saginaw Civic Center. Can you guess the date?
It's 1995. That's all I know.
September 24th, 1995. The tagline being 3 belts, 1 match.
That was with Diesel and Shawn versus Yoko and Owen Hart. 2 dudes with attitude.
And the main event being The Undertaker versus King Mabel. So. No, that was the main event. Never mind. That was
not the main event. No.
Dark match. I'm sorry. It was a
I was like, no, that wasn't the main event.
And lastly, I have a TNA pay-per-view. So, let me pull up the matches. The first match on the show was Alex Shelley, Austin Aries, and Roderick Strong, defeating Chris Sabin, Matt Bentley, and Sanjay Dutt.
It was like a 2005, 2006 error, but yeah, keep going.
The James Gang, BG James and Kip James, defeated the Diamonds in the Rough, David Young and Alex Skipper.
Okay.
AJ Styles defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Okay.
Sean Waltman defeated Ray in a no DQ match.
Yeah, you said Raven. Say that again.
Sean Waltman, in a no disqualification match, defeated Raven.
Okay.
Bobby Roode defeated Ron Killings.
This is definitely... I'm feeling 2006.
You're right on the year. You're right on the year. Abyss defeated Rhino.
Okay.
America's Most Wanted defeated Team 3D for the NWA World Tag Team Championships.
Oh, it's final resolution.
You are right. It was in Orlando, Florida, so yeah, those pay-per-views are always in Orlando. Care to guess the year?
2006, as I stated.
Or I meant like date. I'm sorry.
Final resolution is a January pay-per-view. That's all I know.
January 15th.
I was gonna say like January 11th, but yeah, okay. Yep.
As for the rest of the show, you had Samoa Joe defeating Christopher Daniels by technical knockout for the TNA X Division Championship.
Yep.
Then the main event was Christian Cage and Sting defeating Jeff Jarrett and Monty Brown. Pounce!
You're going down, down, down. Just call me smooth.
Just calls me smooth is what I do. Do. But yeah, that's all the cards, and we have actually hit our mark. An hour and a half. So that is the show, people. That is all the show we have. I am very sorry that I keep coughing. I will do my best to take care of that with all the medicine in the world. But I want to thank everybody for showing up, and as usual, I want to thank Mr. Justin here for tonight's show. But Justin, tell everybody about Spinebuster Tees.
Spinebuster Tees, SpinebusterTees.com. You guys know where to find me. Find me on Instagram. Find me on SpinebusterTees.com. You can come visit me at Spinebuster Tees at the Wonderlands of the Americas. We recently had Sylvia Sanchez from WOW. WOW's very own Sylvia Sanchez. She came down, did a Thursday, very, very successful event. Can't wait to do it again soon. Very, very, very nice. Very, very nice. She was a great guest. Yeah. I mean, I got really much and nothing else to add. You guys already know the shtick already. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, spinebuffcheese.com, and check out the website. Check out the array of t-shirts I have, and also as well, if you are in the San Antonio area, come down to my shop.
Yes, sir. And you already know the shtick I do. DUI Experience on Twitter, X. I also have Instagram. A YouTube channel, and the show you can hear everywhere. YouTube. The show you can hear everywhere on Spreaker, Spotify, anywhere that podcasts are distributed. And then there's Culture Attack with Mr. Ruben Prime, ROTSN, Revenge of the Savage Nerds with RJ, and then Jeff Lippman, Garden of Droom. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to everybody who supports the show, who are friends of ours. One more thing. Next Wednesday will be the me and the missus are going to be celebrating our anniversary. 12 years. So, question to you. Do you still want to do a show on do you still want to do a show that week? Like, do you want to move it to maybe Tuesday? Because I know next Saturday we have our Q&A. Or do you just want to do the Saturday show?
Just do the Saturday show.
Okay. So next week there's not going to be a Wednesday show. And so we're just going to do the Saturday show. If everyone is cool with that, we can just kind of jam-pack everything we can in on a Saturday show and include the Q&A. So you get more bang for your people. And we're already coming up on July. So this year is moving by rather quick. But anyways, peeps, we are done for the night. Again, I'm very sorry for coughing a lot. I try to mute as much as I can, but what can I do? But anyways, peeps, if you haven't already, send some questions. If not, if you already sent some questions already, you can send in as much as you can. And as we always say with these Q&As, just make them fun. Make them fun, make them interesting. The past few Q&As have been pretty cool. I can't complain much, hold on. We lost Justin for a spell.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Freaking Discord kicked me.
That's all good, man.
Yeah. Continue. Don't stop me saying the show.
I was just doing the pardon words for everybody. But take care, everybody, and we will see you next Saturday, actually. So we'll see you in a week, as we always do. But be safe, people. I just thought of something. Is next weekend a pay-per-view?
I think it's Forbidden Door, I want to say. Hold on. Let me look.
Because usually...
it's here. No, it's the 30th.
Oh, June 30th. Okay, never mind, people. False alarm. But anyways, people, take care, be safe, and we will see you next week. So send those questions in. So peace out.
Peace.